He was like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm gonna give you, he's like trying to simplify it for like a child. He's like, I'm going to give you $30 million and you're going to give me 70% of your business.
And what did you say?
And I'm like,
Hi.
hi, my name is Hanalei Swan.
Was it a good drive over here?
Yes, it was.
It's pretty fun. Before coming to this, right? We danced.
Yes, we did. We did a little ecstatic dance.
Maybe we could put a clip right here.
Boom. Wow.
So I'm actually really excited to get you on because not only do we look the same height right now, no one knows you guys. She's on a pillow right now. She's actually not like a 12-year-old that's this freakishly tall.
I'll probably like shorten by like 5 inches after I get off this pillow.
Maybe I'm on a pillow too.
Wow.
Maybe I'm like this small.
Mysteries.
So I'm really curious, right? Because everyone's coming on here, and many people's goals are to build a business, have some freedom, maybe leave their jobs, create 6 figures for themselves. Mm-hmm. And you dropped out of 6th grade? 4th grade?
5th grade, actually.
5th grade, man. I'm slacking.
Wow, that's so cool.
We're all slacking, man.
I'm the only one I think that I know that can use the elementary school dropout. That's like on my Facebook. It's like, what have you done in life? I've dropped out of school. I've created a business, and I live in Bali.
It's crazy, right? Because there's so many people, even like that come to Ubud, that are just trying to find themselves.
Dude, I don't know her story, so this is all like...
Oh, you have no idea?
Oh, this is new.
This is all new. Like,
man.
our immediate,
The medicine man doesn't know who Hanalei is.
The first sentence, I dropped out of elementary school. I live in Bali. I started a business. I'm like, whoa. Mind
What?
Bro, 6 figures.
So should we just go into your story from
Yeah.
Let's go straight into your story.
So I can do a little introduction for the people who don't know me.
Yeah, we're also going to do a really cool introduction in the beginning with like lasers and stuff too.
Wow, I love that.
Or maybe not the lasers.
Maybe not
just
the
a regular.
lasers. Just a little special one-time offer lasers.
So let's bring this. Did it start out the womb? Like, were you selling T-shirts out the womb?
Actually, when I was born, I started traveling. My parents lost everything. We became broke. And so I was about 1 year old in our like $1 million mansion or something like that with my dogs, with all these cars and stuff like that. And we were at a yard sale selling everything. And so we decided after we went broke to start traveling. And so I've been to over 48 plus countries, 6 continents, and I've been able to, for the past 11 years, I'm 12 right now, but for the past 11 years, I've been nonstop traveling, and we made Bali our home base and sun. And about when I was 7 years old, I got asked, what do I want to be now, instead of what do I want to be when I grow up? And that question was able to shift what I can truly be and who I want to be now. And a lot of kids get asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? But when I got asked, what do I want to be now? It's like that little spark inside of me that said, you can do something. It's that little glimmer of hope. And so I asked my parents for $20 right after that. And I made these little sewing like keychains, and I made enough to make my first prototype.
That's amazing because so many people complain. They're like, oh, like I don't have the resources, or it's hard, or, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And many people wait until they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, after they've worked for like 20 years to actually take the leap of faith to do what you did.
Yeah.
And it started at $20.
And I feel like I was on a live yesterday. I was on an Instagram live for like about 2 hours, just sitting there talking with a bunch of people. And one of the questions on my live, someone asked me, how do you get the courage to do something? How did you get the courage to continue doing what you love? Or how did you get the courage to do this? I'm just like, you don't wait. You take action. Taking action is the biggest step that people are most scared of. And if people don't take action, I feel like that's when they get into a place, if they fail or something, they're like, oh, I'm horrible now. I'm never going to do something like that again. They get scared of starting something new. And so just by taking action, by doing something little, by only getting $20. I started a 6-figure business with $20, and I made food. I made these keychains of these sandwiches or food, and I sold them to people at my mom's events.
Can you bring it back? Because $20 to 6 figures, that's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
I think I had a lemonade stand and I just drank all the lemonade. I don't even think I made money.
Yeah.
Like every single time I sold popcorn, ate all the popcorn. Sold brownies, ate all the brownies. I should have just bought the brownies, you know?
Yeah.
But you took $20 and you built a 6-figure business. So you took the keychains, you made money, and then the moment you had the money.
I made the keychains as well,
You
so
made the
I
keychains.
hand
Okay.
stitched all of them.
And when you made the money, did you spend it on stuff or did you save it?
I invested it. So I've kept this for as many years as I've been working, as many years as I've had my business, all of that. I've used this simple thing that has been able to fuel my business for the future, that I've been able to have money so I can buy stuff and all of that. I call it the three, I don't have a name for it, but it's like
It's
trying to
okay.
make
You're
it sound
12, you
cool.
have time. We'll figure it out.
But whenever I would make something, especially living in a family where my parents have always been entrepreneurs and we've been able to travel, work online, do all that type of stuff, I've been able to learn like profit margins. I've been able to learn profit, like all these different types of things. And when I had my 50-50 profit margin, like let's say one of the keychains were $100, it wasn't $100, but just saying it to make it simpler
Just
for the
making it
people who
simple
are
for us.
listening.
For us mere humans, us mere mortals, for this child prodigy.
Yeah.
So it's $100 and I have a 50% margin. So that means 50% of it goes to my cost. So that means I have 50% of felt. I have 50% of all of that money goes to needles, all of these type of things. And the other 50% goes directly to me. I could have $50 or I could try to make something out of that. So I split my $50 into 3 categories: spending, saving, and giving. And so those 3 categories, I am able to give a school uniform to a child in India because it takes $10 to create a school uniform. And in places in poverty, kids can't afford school uniforms, and the government stops paying for it at the age of 13, which means it increases the massive school dropout rate, teenage pregnancy, and child workload. And so that $10, that 10% of our amount of out of our $100, I'm able to help a child get education. I'm able to help them be able to think differently and think how I have been grown up and inspire them. I recently, last year, I went on a giving back trip in India, and I was able to give these school uniforms hand on. And just like little things, like I've always been wanting to help people. That is my main mission. Every way I want to change the way people think about fashion. I want to help people have a better life, and I want to change possibilities. And so just by being able to give this $10, we take $10 for granted in so many ways. And we could either buy a jacket or something that's $10 and made really cheap, or we can have someone have schooling for the rest of their life. And so it's crazy to think, and I know I just jumped from making these little toys and profit margins to helping kids in India with schooling, but really that's been my main mission with helping people. I'm an international speaker, so I speak on stage and talk about these different types of subjects and inspire people to think before they buy. If you don't know, I haven't talked about it much, but I'm a fashion designer. So I create eco-friendly fashion that is using sustainable materials, made in a humane way, and is just made all in Bali. And so I'm cutting you off a lot right now.
I'm just taking notes. I'm like, wow, she's 12. I didn't even know how to share when I was your age.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I almost failed kindergarten because they're like, you have to share your crayons. And I'm like, no. And you're already giving. That's the crazy thing about most 11, 12, 13-year-olds is it's in a period in our lives where we are not even thinking about the world. We're just thinking about ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not even thinking about our mom and dad around that age, right? We're just thinking about me.
Because we're growing up in a society that makes us think consumerism is the only way. In first world countries, consumerism is the biggest thing. Marketing campaigns, ad campaigns, all these things make us say, if you don't have this, you're not cool. Or make us feel insecure. And like if we're looking at our bodies or something, and let's say there's one part of our body that we feel insecure about, like let's say our legs or something, and they're like, you have horrible legs, and like their ad campaign, of course they're not saying that, but like, you have horrible legs, you need to get this done. If you get these awesome Spanx, you'll be amazing.
You'll
like
be
stuff like
loved.
that. And it's just like,
your mom will love you if you buy these Spanx.
Boycotting Spanx.
Yeah, never wearing Spanx ever again. Hanson, we got to stop this
I'm throwing away all my pairs.
All 35.
and it's an idea. It's probably like Spanx are probably okay, but I'm just finding something crazy. And so if we're thinking like they're making us have that hole inside of us, and if you fill it with these Spanx, you'll be happy. All we want is happiness. And we're sadder than ever. So many people have depression. So many people have anxiety. And I feel like one of the main contributors is horrible people that are like bullying and stuff like that. And consumerism. It's teaching us that if we don't have this, we are not cool. If we don't have this, we're not this. And that's the part where we're like, wait, but I want to have that.
Yeah, it's so messed up just the way marketing and sales is.
Yeah.
It's almost like you find people that are insecure about themselves and you feed off of their insecurity.
Yeah.
And it's horrible because, like, for example, I have a little sister, and I remember when she was growing up, there was a moment in her life where she was shy, she was nervous, she didn't have the confidence that she now has after traveling. But it literally took her to leave the US, to travel, to actually grow up and understand that we are almost like, you know how in Bali you see the cows going around, they're like, like you just be driving on your scooter and then there's just a cow and you're like, okay, it's normal, it's Bali.
It's a cow.
Those animals are domesticated to live in a confinement of a farm, never knowing what their actual ancestors did, right? Yeah. But if you look at humans, that's the exact same thing that is almost happening to us. A lot of people, and it's not just Americans, it's people that are in this consumerist society, we're almost turning into the modern day chicken or the modern day cow because we're being domesticated.
It's like we're put in a cage.
Yeah.
And like the 1% of our the 1% of like the people who are rich and who like run these ads and who work for these big companies, they're like on the outskirts almost. And they're like, oh, how can we make people feel horrible about their skin? Let's get them some foundation. Like I saw this ad, which I like online, that I was so shocked. It's like this person who was laying down, he's like, I'm sorry, I just thinking about it, I think it's horrible. But it's like foundation, concealer before class. Don't skip concealer. Don't go to class without your concealer. Like all this type of stuff for like makeup, and it's like skip class, not concealer.
And they're talking like 13 or 14-year-olds if it's class, right? Like,
and it's like, don't go to class. Make sure you look awesome, or like make sure you look like this. When actually they're just filling a part of us that's like, I never thought I had horrible skin. I never thought my eyes looked horrible. I never thought my nose was too big. It's like these ads are saying that you have these horrible things, and they're like, if you have this, you're gonna be amazing. And all of that type of stuff. And I feel like it's breaking our society down in so many ways. And in first world countries, that's what's hitting them the most. Because they don't live in a place where happiness is a normal thing. And I feel like society is putting us in a place where if we hate ourselves more, we're going to want to buy more stuff.
Man, this is insane. And this is the cool thing that, I mean, when you do these fashion shows, you have people wear your brands, your mom, your dad, who we're going to get on this podcast like later on. Actually, your dad's like over there, just like 90-degree angling the thing. Really good, Dad. It's like that's going to be the new age. You know what you're creating right now? a new revolution where instead of Instagram husbands, where you see, you know, those girls in the waterfalls that are like looking out in the waterfall.
I'm usually the one behind the camera.
Yeah, and then you have Hanson like in a deep squat, just like no one knows.
Yeah.
Army crawling with a camera.
He's just like filled with mud, and then his girlfriend's just like looking beautiful in a dress.
Yeah.
You're going to create a new generation of Instagram fathers that just follow, because you're like inspiring, you know, the next demographic. You know?
I think also one thing about Instagram is I'm mainly on Instagram. Like I have 100,000 followers on there. But it's like self-promo. Follow me at Hanalei Swan. And I feel like Instagram is one of like social media is really killing our society because it's putting us with so much hate. And like even if these like Photoshop, Facetune, all these things, it's saying if you don't have this, like it's finding all those insecurities in our face. It's finding all our insecurities in our body. So we want to use that to make us look like our perfect self.
Yeah,
and I feel like Instagram is fueling that, where they're saying like the more people who have like this super, super duper skinny waist and then these ginormous butts or like ginormous boobs and like all these different types of things, that's the epitome of like perfection. Like that is the best thing ever. And so I feel like it's horrible how we're teaching our kids, how we're teaching girls and women to Photoshop their bodies to make them look appealing to other people. Yeah. And to make them get more likes. It's
insane, right? Like, so for example, I had a lot of friends, especially when I was younger, their parents didn't let their kids get into social media. Yeah. Because they're afraid, oh, well, what if like someone makes fun of them? There's cyberbullying.
Well, they're going to go on them anyways.
Well, that's like the thing.
It's like as kids, like we need like...
you guys are rebellious. You're like, no, I'm going to do what I want.
But the thing is, let's take into our immune system. Yeah. Like how we fight off disease as we like learn how our body learns to fight off disease and stuff like that. And so let's say as a young kid, if we're not open and we are not in that space where we're able to play in mud, where we're able to get sick, and we're just completely like out of that zone, when we're adults and in the real world, we won't know how to fight off those bacteria.
That's so real, right? Because for example, when what most parents are doing to their kids is they're born, and the first time they're born, they're like, I need to protect this. I love this person so much. I'm going to make sure everything's wiped. I'm going to sanitize everything. They grow up, the first time like the kid cries at like 7 years old, mom like picks him up, like babies him all the way till he's like 12, 13, 14. And he's like, oh, you know, the world is nice. But in the entire time, you know, the parents were always there just kind of like consoling the kid. Yeah. And this kid has this like messed up reality of what actually the world is.
And that leads to brats. That's
and then put it this way, right? They're 21, they're 22, they're 23, they graduate college. They're so excited because like, oh, my mom supported me my entire life. And then bam, life just punches them in the face. Yeah. Right?
And I feel like it's kind of the same like with like Instagram and stuff, or like social media. If they're not learning how to fight against it, if they're not learning how to like use social media in the right way, not learning what it is, they're going to have, when they're adults, they're going to get cyberbullied and they're going to be like, wait, I don't know how to stop this.
They're just going to give up.
Yeah. Like, I want to go back. They're like, I don't know how to stop this. Like, they're not used to it. That's why we have to build up our immune system and like really learn about these type of things.
Right? Like, what's it like? You're 12 years old, and I mean, there's times where even like a couple years back, even recently when I started social media, you read that one negative comment, and no one ever says it. They're like, oh man, like it's you just like make videos and stuff like that, and everyone's gonna love you. But no one knows the moment you put yourself out there, you're gonna have almost like an equal amount of hate and ridicule.
And sometimes you don't have an equal amount. It's mainly like you have so many likes, but then that one comment that says you're horrible, it ruins your day.
Well, how do you do it? How do you put up with that, right? Like the first time it happened, how did it make you feel?
One thing that my dad taught me, that's like a trick, is whenever someone leaves like a horrible comment on your post or something, just say, tell me more about that. And it's just like they'll try to figure out like, oh yeah, you're disgusting. Like, why are you doing this? Just like, really, why did you get this opinion? Like, keep on asking them, and they'll just go to a point where they're like, why am I doing this?
I love you.
It's just like, I don't know what's going on. But like, you mainly don't you shouldn't think about that type of stuff. You should think about the positive. And remember, like, some people just hate to hate. And it's not like anything against you. Just really just put pride in yourself, and not like in a way where you're like, I'm the best person ever. But it's like put pride in a way where you like are able to say, thank you for your opinion. I don't need that.
What was it like having this mindset and this wisdom while you were in school, surrounded by a bunch of people just picking their noses and like picking their wedgies?
Well, like I went.
And we were all thinking it, man. Like I'm like, man, I would be that 12-year-old kid while you're talking about saving English. I'd be just like.
I went through a really tough time in school, actually. Like since I was like around, let's say 8 or 9, so just a couple of years ago. But
it was back in my day, 8 or 9.
But the thing is, I was like, this was after I started doing my business, and I started creating, and I started falling in love with art and stuff like that. And so I remember I would do like my videos or stuff like that, and at school, like when we had a couple minutes to go on like IT or like go on the computers and stuff, they would always search up my like old videos and stuff, and they would laugh at me or like call me names or like, oh, look at you, you're like doing this or something. I don't know. But I went through a really tough time where I got really horribly bullied by my best friend. And if you're watching the audio, if you're listening to the audio, I did quotation marks. But really, like, I had a really horrible time because I stopped doing my videos. I stopped being creative because I thought, if this is what people don't like about me, and I want to be loved, so maybe if I stop that, then they'll like me. But it went through a really horrible time where I wasn't learning. I think the school system is horrible in how they teach it. They're teaching a broad audience, not individual children, which we all learn in a different way. That's another topic and another podcast.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Really,
we're neighbors, so I'm
yeah.
like, hey, sell some lemonade and podcast and create 6-figure businesses.
Yeah.
While I just pick my nose.
Yeah.
What was that? Because that's such a thing that I don't want to have you just glance over, because what you did, what you went through, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. There's people that will be crippled by that for years. Yeah. Right? And what I want to know is, because we just glanced through it and we glanced over it and it was the past, but like I think explaining more about that, like what were you currently feeling, or what were you feeling at that moment when your best friend kind of made fun of you? Because that was the exact same thing that happened to me in college, and it destroyed me at 18.
It destroyed me as well. But the thing is, I feel like there's different ways where you either like break out and like, oh my God, this is horrible, this is what's happening. Or there's another way that like destructs you more, which is keeping it bottled up. Mm-hmm. I bottled that up for a year. I didn't tell my mom, my dad, anyone. And like every day I felt like I was putting on a mask, and I was like called the dumb kid and stuff, because either like I would ask my friends like, hey, do you know this math problem? I kind of forgot it. Or like, hey, can you help me out with my spelling? Since of course traveling, I always wanted to be in school. One time, like when I was in first grade, they already learned the ABCs, let's say. Second grade, they didn't. So I was relearning the ABCs, or like all these different types of stuff. Of course, not the ABCs, but you know what I mean. But I would like ask like, hey, can you help me? And they're like, no, why do you need help? Like all this type of stuff. I know this, like all of that type of stuff, trying to make them better. And it just broke me down in a way where after a year or so of this happening, I just broke down. I'm like, this is what's going on. And after I dropped out of school and continued my life, now I'm so much more happy. And I just feel so much more amazing in being able to be with entrepreneurs, being able to be with adults that actually understand me more than children do.
I think you understand adults better than they understand themselves, though. So.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of like hanging around adults more because they have a broader mindset, and they have a better mindset on what possibilities can. I like having real conversations, not, hey, what did you eat for lunch? What's your favorite color? Hey, do you want to hang out? Let's play Marco Polo.
Do you want to share crayons?
Yeah.
No,
I would never share my art supplies. That's one thing. I hate sharing art supplies. I have like my really expensive stuff. Don't share that type of stuff. That's something I will say. If you touch my crayons, I will kill you.
And it's cool because like making that switch, hanging out with adults, you realize that they're just all kids.
Yeah.
Too, like when we do acro yoga or whatever, you'll get on one of those swings and you'll Tarzan just drop kick me. You remember that?
That was really
That's, I think,
fun.
how we met. We talked a little bit. I mean, I was friends with your parents. Then I had a conversation with you where I was talking to you and we were having a normal conversation. But then when we got up, I stood up and you were like still very short. I forgot you were 12 years old. But back to that thing, what made you shift out of that sadness, that depression, that anxiety?
I just let go. Like, I just talked to my parents and I'm like, I can't be here anymore. We went out school, like, it's a long story, but it took a while. Like, of course, the person who was bullied me, sorry. The person who was bullying me, like, of course, said, I never did this, like, all of that type of stuff, but really, I have proof inside. But yeah, I just dropped out of school and started continuing my business because, of course, I have better priorities than school.
When I dropped out of dental school, the first couple
Wait, you were a
months...
dentist?
You want your teeth fixed? Because I would be able to just carve you a tooth out of soap. That's all I know how to do.
There's
You
a
know how to
podcast
carve-
studio. There's a dental.
There's a dental
chair
thing. What
back
you want?
there.
You want a barber? They got a haircut. We got a rock climbing thing back there.
Wait, you were going to be a dentist?
Yeah, I was pretty in deep. I was first year of dental school. And while I was becoming a dentist, I was also building my business. And what actually, I was always wondering why I resonated with you so much, because there was something about your story that felt very similar to mine. It's just insane because, like, for example, I was 18 when I was in my business and going to become a dentist, right? And I remember I was from the kid with all the friends, always having fun, always happy. I started the business, and then the business started becoming successful. But then because of that, all of my friends and my fraternity brothers and all of like my close friends,
Yeah.
I found out that they were talking just horrible things behind my back.
Yeah.
And it was just me and then my girlfriend at the time. And then because it was just me and my girlfriend and my business, I spent too much time with my girlfriend. So I started like getting more of a, like, you know, like you.
The
you
first
actually,
world mindset, I call it.
well, you might not know this because like you're 12, but maybe you do. But when you start dating someone, and I'm going to tell you this right now because you're so mature for your age, right? And I'm not going to do the, when a mommy loves a daddy. I'm not going to do that. But what essentially happens, so I can paint the picture, because I like how there's just a conversation. It's not just an interview of like, what's your favorite color, Hanalei?
My favorite color is turquoise.
Seriously?
Turquoise or black.
Me too. We have so much in common.
People consider black as a shade, but I still think it's colored. I just either say turquoise or black.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is what happens when you're older, and I feel so like the man that you're going to attract has to be for sure like a billionaire, super ripped, like gives hundreds of millions of dollars to charity to actually deserve your love when you're older.
No, I would just say people who have a great personality.
So smart.
Or it's like doesn't matter about
So
what they're
much
doing
wisdom.
if they have a great personality and if they have a good mindset. Like that's
Well, it's just so insane, right? Like, so for example, when I was in the relationship, because it was just me and my girlfriend and my business, what happens if you're not really aware of how other people are treating you, you kind of like start adopting each
their
other's
mindsets. It's
And-
like if you want to hang around lazy people.
No,
you're
I'm
gonna-
not saying my girlfriend was lazy,
No,
right? My girlfriend was savage.
I'm doing this as an example. I'm like, if you hang around lazy people, are going to become lazy. If you hang around great-minded people who are entrepreneurs, you're going to become a great-minded entrepreneur.
Well, that was the thing, because this is what I want to paint the picture. It was just me, my business, my girlfriend. All my friends were gone. I didn't have entrepreneur friends.
Yeah.
I just want to paint just like how amazing it is to have, even your parents around you, because when I was stuck and I only had my girlfriend and I almost depended too much on the relationship for happiness, when I lost everything, I'm talking about like I ended up losing my girlfriend because I stopped being the man that I used to be.
Yeah.
I lost my best friends. And on top of that, my business was crashing, and I just also dropped out of dental school. So what I want to get back to the conversation to was in those first couple months of having all that happen to me, it wasn't just like, okay, like dropped out, peace out, and then like successful. There was like a couple months where I almost questioned myself. And you did this when you were 9. What were going on through your mind when you dropped out? Because no one really does that.
When I dropped out, I'm like, oh, it's going to be like endless, like just do anything I want. But I'm like, actually, I got to do homeschool and stuff like that. But really, when I dropped out, I'm like, I feel like I just lost all my friends. And I felt like since now I don't see them on a day-to-day basis, it's like hard to keep connections as someone in school would have. But I feel like when I dropped out, a weight just lifted off of me. I was able to draw all day. I was able to be at my happiness. And like the school that promised that was like, creativity is our main thing we focus on. They didn't even have an art teacher. I was the art teacher at 10 years old. This is a true story. I was an art teacher for a school. But really, when I dropped out, a weight lifted off of me, and I just felt so much more happier because I was doing what I love. I was living at my highest values. So, merp.
Did you just beep?
Merp.
Merp.
You just meowed.
When I just don't know what to say, I just go merp.
That's like a default thing. What I do when I don't know what to say is I just abort and just sleep on cue. I just like pass out. Or if I
When
feel
you want
nervous,
to end a conversation, you're just like,
like if I don't want to talk, like someone asks me a question I don't want to hear, I'm just abort. Start drooling.
Just charge.
recharge.
Reset.
That's so amazing, right? Because you went from there alone, sucks. So for everyone listening, I mean, if a 12-year-old can do it, what's stopping you? What excuses do you have?
And the thing is, I'm an international speaker, so I speak stages all over the world. I'm going to be speaking at Burning Man this year as well,
Yeah.
so that's going to be really cool.
That's freaking awesome.
But yeah, so I've been
Is there
able
a
to.
height limit for Burning Man? I heard there's a height limit.
Excuse me.
I'm not being heightist. I'm just saying.
She can borrow that pillow.
You could borrow that pillow.
Oh my god, I feel so offended. I have stilts, okay? I have stilts. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll let you in. So with that being said and where you were in your business, when did things kind of turn around? When did you see the light at the end of the tunnel for everyone that's in that point in their life where they're despair? Maybe maybe they gave up everything and it's been 6 months before they even seen a dollar or a dime come in. They're burning the midnight oil. They're building a business that isn't successful yet. Yeah. And every single day they're looking at their bank account just dwindle, going down.
And really, I think I started seeing the light when I made my first sale as well. Because all my work and energy, if you don't know, I feel like we haven't talked about this, but I am a fashion designer. I create eco-friendly fashion for women, men, all these different types of things. And so when I made my first sale was like, I felt happy again because that's after designing, creating all these collections, like I was so happy. But I feel like how to get out of that is just start to find people that can help you, because we all think, especially as entrepreneurs, we are in this alone. We are the only people that can build our business. We are the only people that can make it happen. But really, you can lift that weight off with other people.
And who are those people for you?
For me, it's my parents, since they have been growing businesses before I was born.
Do you have a favorite one? I won't tell.
Oh my god.
Even though your dad's right there, we'll just cover his ears. Put like little pillows on his.
The thing, Lerb.
Be careful, he's holding your IG live.
Just start
like, abort.
But really, they've been able to support me and helped me in so many ways. My mom especially helped me in my speaking, helped me in my content driven, all that type of stuff. And my dad's helped me support myself, be able to just work with me one-on-one, and he's just like, we bounce off each other really well. And so I feel like we all help each other in every way. But sorry,
That's some strong tea, right?
yeah,
We're not feeding her kratom. I don't know if there's an age limit with kratom. Is there?
I was gonna say something, but I was like, I don't think we put kratom in here.
We didn't.
Good.
Did you? No. Simone didn't put kratom.
Okay, good. But really, I've been able to be supported, and I think that's the best thing. If I did this alone, I wouldn't be here.
And then other than your parents, because most people don't have their parents to support them, right? Yeah, like it's so amazing that your parents are the most loving human beings in the world, and they're so fun. Your dad's beard is huge. It's magical.
But what I would say, other people that supported me, yeah. I think my parents mainly supported me in the first start.
And then now, how about now?
And then I started growing and like
Yeah.
had more people like Ginny, who I saw was on your show a couple of days ago, and like you, like all these different types of people that after I built everything, I've been able to meet new people. But I feel like who supported me was my mom, my dad, and at the time I had someone who would help me with my designs and stuff, and then I had my team of 6 dudes. And so these were the people who supported me, and as then I've grown, I've started having more people, which I think is amazing.
Don't you have other like 12 and 13-year-olds that also have their businesses?
No.
Or was it you were the youngest one? I think your youngest friend that has her business was 18. I think I met her at your fashion show a couple weeks back.
Really? Wow.
But like, so as of now, who would you say your youngest, most relatable friend that you could go to when you don't want to talk to your mom and dad, or you don't want to talk to old people?
I do have a friend
like me.
that we were talking, and like she started her own dog food like business, like
Yeah.
a mini one. It's called Canine Canteen. It's like dog crackers and stuff for like dogs, and she does makeup. She is amazing at special effects. If you ever need like special effects, like if you need your like head like cut out or something, like she can do that with makeup, not like with a knife and stuff like that. But like she's incredible, and she's started her business slowly, and of course like helping and like talking with her and stuff is really cool.
And
Have you heard of someone named Caleb Maddox?
Yes, I have.
So have you heard of Caleb Maddox?
Yeah, I think they're friends.
Oh, you
No,
friends?
I've never met him.
Oh no.
No.
So he's doing something pretty cool. He's like developing a program like Apex Kids or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Focus.
amazing. I saw a YouTube of him. He closed like a 10 grand deal on the phone.
What?
Yeah.
Caleb Maddox?
This was like years ago before he like blew up.
He had Gary Vee as his mentor.
Yeah, but this was before, like, there was a video on YouTube. It was just like with a camera. He's like, I'm gonna close a 10 grand deal, and he's just like yelling at this person. He's like, and then bam, like bank transfer 10 grand. I think he was 14. He was 14 in the video.
Wow.
Yeah, it's impressive. But I like that how he's supporting the growth of like kids right now and building programs for them and teaching them.
And one of the things that I do as well is I created my book around when I was, I think, 7 years old. Right after I got asked what do I want to be now, I created this book that was it's called How to Be and Raise an Unstoppable Kid. And so it was like all of my years of learning how to create a business, all of these different types of things, all put into this one thing. And I remember all of my mom's events that she used to host. Whenever they would bring, like the families would bring their kids or something, I would like take the kids and like host my mini entrepreneurs event with them. Like, hey, this is how to run a business. I was like the mini Rhonda Swan, you could say. And so I would like help them and stuff like that, which I don't know why I went to that, but I just like, oh wow, kids helping kids, like,
where can people find that book?
We haven't released it yet, but we're gonna be releasing it very soon.
Waiting list. We'll just get you on this podcast again when you're like,
Yeah.
buy my book, and I'll buy like 30 copies.
Yeah.
And I'll start a
sit around and just.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick my nose, and if no one buys, I'm just gonna abort. So what I want to know is, what do you think? Because now that you're kind of leading this next generation of kids, you're getting invited to speak all around the world. They're flying you out. Mom and dad are like your biggest supporters, but they're also there with you as well, speaking on stage. What do you feel when you meet other 12-year-olds? Do you feel like there's a disconnect in the mindset?
I feel like sometimes, but I feel like I'm still a kid, so of course I can connect to anyone. Like I can be like, hey, let's play in the mud. Like I can turn into a kid at any time.
There was actually a story. I remember when we were talking, we were having like a deep philosophical conversation about like economics and philanthropy and all of that stuff. Yeah. And we were talking, right? So we were around this height, and she wasn't sitting on a pillow, but we were the same height. So I almost forgot she was 12. And then literally within a second, she got up and she was like, Mom, Dad, it's my birthday. We got to go bowling. It was such a different thing.
Wait, when was this?
It was like a while back. It was such a conversation. We were talking, I think, a while back.
It was on my birthday?
It was a while back. But it's so funny, just the different disconnect of how there's like a wise old soul in you, but also this playful kid that still doesn't let the business take away from your playfulness.
You should have seen me at Detective Pikachu in the theaters. We went with Ginny and Oscar, and we went in unicorn pajamas and just strolled in, got some popcorn, and watched Detective Pikachu all night at the movie theaters and stuff like that. We're like on my birthday going to bounce and like at a trampoline park and trying to do dodgeball, but don't know how to play dodgeball and stuff like that. But
there's another question that I just thought of right now because you just said Jeannie and Oscar going to the movie, so it was just something that came up. And I won't tell your dad.
Yeah.
Like, pretend he's deaf and he can't hear you right now. But
why?
Have you ever had a boyfriend or
No.
Never? Interesting. What do you think that's gonna be like?
Well, I have no idea. I've always been like.
You guys gonna hold hands?
I feel like when I was like in school, that was like the times when like no kid like has a relationship with anyone else.
Cooties.
Everyone still thinks
I don't even
everyone
want
has
cooties for the longest time.
But like the year I left was the year that everyone like I hung out with my friends like a month after I left school, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've had 3 boyfriends." I'm like, "Wait, I've been
These kids, man."
I'm like, "Wait, I've been in my room drawing all day, and you've like all of this type of stuff," which I find hilarious.
Yeah, but those kids when they grow up, like I don't even want to say. But yeah, I remember when I had my first girlfriend, I think I was around your age. And man, when I held her hand while we were rollerblading around the rink, my heart just exploded in so many things. But that's all we did. That's all we did. Because you have to wait till marriage, of course. Duh. Or else Brian Swan's going to end their lives. So what's next for you then? You're 12 years old. Most people have midlife crises when they kind of appear to have everything set. Is there anything that you want to accomplish?
Well, I'm gonna I feel like what I want to be able to accomplish is I just want to be able to get my voice heard. I feel like so many people don't have their voice open and people aren't listening.
Yeah.
And by being able to do things like this, I just want to be able to inspire people to live their dreams now and take action, because that is the hardest step you can do. But everything else is going to be, of course, hard, but it's like just by taking that one moment, you can accomplish so many amazing things. And by inspiring people to live their dreams now, I feel like in normal society, you have to go to school, you have to go to college, get a job, get married, have a job, like all this type of stuff, and then retire, and then you can do what you love.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to inspire people to take action and actually try to do something different. And then I'm hopefully going to be releasing a new collection in this year, hopefully. I don't know. Whenever I feel like it, really.
Whenever I have time.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm just, yeah.
But I'm going to be having like some Burning Man collection, like a mini one.
Here's another interesting question. I love this because you have so much wisdom and so much just like knowledge at your age. So it's very curious to see what you think is going to happen. Say I was a producer from Hollywood, right? So I had like those shades and I was like, oh, like no selfies, please, no selfies.
Yeah.
And I saw your story and I basically was like, okay, I want to create a movie of your life. But instead of when you were 1 to 12, I'm going to create a movie of your life from age 13 all the way up until you're 40. What would that movie be about?
And this is your life. Do you know what I'm talking about? I understand.
What happens in the movie?
Smart question. What happens in the movie?
This summer.
Hopefully, I make my
No, this is a movie, so there's no hopefully.
No, this is no hopefully. I just catch myself.
She said catch yourself because her mouth went too far from the mic.
Sorry. But I am a $1 million business owner.
Okay.
I still live in Bali with my amazing Bali dogs. I love them too much.
Buttercup?
Buttercup and Oreo and Choco.
Oh.
They're the best. I'm sorry.
Have they met Jinta?
Yeah, I don't think
they only met through like Instagram stories.
Hi, how you doing? We should meet up sometime. But I've made my first $1 million. I've been able to speak on a TED Talk and at the ClickFunnels events. and I have been able to go to, I forgot what the place is called, but it's a very cool place that I want to go to. I think it's like the World Leaders event, where inspirational people for eco-friendly and like learning different types of stuff like that. It's really cool. Cut that out. But this is so hard.
I got you, because the thing about you is you've been on so many interviews, and they probably ask you the exact same thing, like how your friends in elementary school, like, what's your favorite color? So it's so cool, because now it's gonna start actually allowing you to create the life that you want.
I know.
You know?
I have given maybe 500,000 school uniforms to children in India. I've been able to reduce the amount of water taken out, like for fabric. Like, if you don't know, cotton takes 750 gallons of water to create, while the materials I use, like bamboo, takes 0% water. I've been able to reduce the amount of water, let's say maybe 20% of being used in shirts. And so that's what I'm thinking.
You know what's amazing is that if you were to ask anyone else that question, it'd be like, I'd have this, I'd have this, I'd have this. And all of our questions are, I'd be able to provide or give or accomplish this for other people. It's like, your goals are like very inspiring.
Thank you.
And even just like keeping that, because we're all close now, because we all are basically neighbors, and we all find ways to collaborate and help each other. And like, I just want to tell you, and this is if the podcast wasn't even here, if we didn't have these cool mics, or if we didn't even do a static dancing before this, is your personality and where your heart is and where your intentions are. As long as you keep that, you always have all these amazing people that just want to support you. And the reason why is because when adults and me and like my friends and all the people that come to your events, when they see you, it actually reminds us that we're still playing small and that we should dream a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing. That's like your superpower, is you're able to help people like me and other people to realize that, okay, am I being satisfied right now? Am I being lazy? Am I doing all that I could do when there's this 12-year-old girl out there that's almost eradicating all of the poverty because of her fashion brand?
Yeah.
It's such an amazing thing.
And my main thing is I want to be able to inspire. I want to be able to teach people about what fashion is doing to kill our earth. Fast fashion is the second largest contributor to waste on our planet, next to oil. And
yeah, that's why I've been throwing everything away, right? I've just been wearing
no,
the
that's horrible.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not supposed to throw everything away. I'm recycling it.
You shouldn't throw it
Guys,
away.
buy it.
You have to give it to people.
MikeVestil.com/garage sale.
Oh my God.
Is that a link? We'll make that a link.
Make that a link.
I don't even know what to sell. I own like 3 underwears. Or 5 underwears. When I start traveling. You were saying?
But fast fashion, like big fast fashion brands like H&M, Zara, and Forever 21.
The devil.
The thing is, they can change, but the thing, like, a lot of people share these videos like, oh, they're starting to recycle, or oh, they're doing this now, like, oh, this is incredible. I'm like, if you look at the stats online, like 99% of the things that they say they're recycling, only 1% gets recycled. And so it's like all these different things, and it's all in it for the money, which I hate. I want to be able to make money so I can give them. I don't want to be able to make it to make it. I feel like with fast fashion brands, like they outsource to places like Bangladesh, China, and Forever 21.
Forever 21.
They
Forever
outsource
21.
to Forever 21 and other.
Step up, Forever 21. You suck.
They outsource to places like in Bangladesh, India, and China, and all these different places. I don't know why today I've been mad. Like, my words have not been coming out.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Like, I'll try having a conversation. It's just like my tongue is too fat.
I'm just gonna say, next time we have this interview, it's gonna be a lot better quality. So stick by.
Yeah. Can we like dress up as Pikachu detectives?
Sure. I like that idea.
I think so. Remember every single podcast we have an idea of what to do. What I want to do is take her MERP and use it as one of these things. So if you or a guest can't think of anything to say, I'll just like MERP. Can we put like her face on the mouth? Like it's almost like you're bleeping something else. Like MERP?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. He's like, okay, cut this photo. Like,
we're gonna need like a high quality recording of your MERP, and we'll We'll put it in here.
Yerp.
And then can you go more about that, the fast fashions and how your company is changing?
And so they outsource to places like Bangladesh,
Yeah.
China, and other regions in India, which make manufacturing cheap and makes the profits go higher. And so these workers who work for them, thousands of them die every single year because of how the conditions are. In places that they work in, it's either not checked, either they're in low quality conditions and the buildings fall down.
Yeah.
And so they get worked overtime. They only get paid 1% of what these billion-dollar businesses are making. And they use low quality materials like cotton, which I told before takes 750 gallons of water to create. And so then I found something called slow fashion, which is the opposite. We use eco-friendly materials like bamboo, which takes 0% water to create. We make everything in Bali. We pay our workers salary, we pay their petrol, we pay their food, we pay their families. And so we're treating our workers like humans, not machines. And that's one really big value. And then like I was telling earlier about profit margins, if I have a 50% profit margin, $50 goes to all of my workers, all that type of stuff, and the other 50% gets splits up into 3 categories: spending, saving, and giving. Easiest way how to represent this if you don't understand already. Spending, I'm able to buy froyo now. Saving, I'm able to buy froyo in the future. And giving, I'm able to give froyo to people. And so just a simple thing to share for all those people who don't understand.
I remember a story that your mom was telling me on how an investor wanted to invest millions of millions.
$30 million.
$30 million. $30 million. When I was your age,
he's a Shark Tank investor.
yeah. When I was your age, I just thought it was either 100,000 and then kajabillion. You know, there was no like.
Actually, I found out a random fact that there's the highest number like ever is called a Google.
What about a Google Island one? Then
Wow.
it doesn't end, right? But back to the thing, someone wanted to invest, went up to your mom. $30 million. I want to invest into your daughter's
he
brand.
went up to me first.
Okay.
Because he didn't know what to do since he's like, I don't know how to work with kids and stuff like that.
He just went up to you? Did he?
He went up to me and he's like, can the mom come over here just to like make sure? Wait, should I re-say that because I was like over here?
No, you can keep it.
Okay. But he was like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm gonna give you, he's like trying to simplify it for like a child. He's like, I'm going to give you $30 million and you're going to give me 70% of your business.
And what did you say?
And I'm like, really? He's like, but first I can get you on the cover of Vogue. I can get you in New York Fashion Week. I can get you anywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, this sounds awesome. But he's like, I want 70% of all your profits. And I'm like, wait, hold up. And he's like, let me simplify this for you. If you make like, let's say 100 million, you're going to get like, if you look at this, you're going to get 30 million and I'm going to get 70 million. It's like, wait, why can't I just get 100 million? It's all my work. It's all my stuff. He's like, I'll let you have everything creative. I'll let you be able to do anything, but I get most of the money. I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Did you say no, I don't like that? Or were you like, get the hell out of my studio?
But the thing is, we were like talking and I'm like, I want to keep my values. I don't want to have large manufacturing. I want to keep the same people I'm working with. I don't want to outsource to places. I don't want to be able to make it fast fashion because that's the thing I'm going against. And I'm like, if I need to continue doing what I'm doing and take longer to make myself go on the cover of Vogue or something like that, it's like I will do that rather than compromise my values. So.
Man, and that's amazing because most people sell out so early.
Yeah, it's
and
like once you have something awesome, like you sell out and make it a monster.
Yeah, and then I mean, if we look at the alternative, say you did sell it for anyone that's listening that's thinking about just selling and getting out of their baby. Or the baby of the company, not out of their baby. What are you doing, Mike? Get out of your baby. Get out of your baby, Mer.
I got like a brand new baby.
But
I sell it for $30 million.
What would you have done if you would have sold it? Would you have just done?
The thing is, I would have not have done it anyways.
Yeah, it wouldn't even been in your mind.
No.
That's so smart because so many people, they build their businesses. Like there was a story I was talking to what's her name? Christina Lacchiani from Mind Valley. You met her, and then they're the Mind Valley Unsolved family.
Yeah.
We're all friends here, and you know, she was like telling a story about Richard Branson when he built his first company and sold it. He actually felt the sadness and depression because he was so tied to it,
and he wasn't able to work on it as much as he would have been able to.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
That's amazing. And I know we could talk for so long, but I know that
how long have we been talking?
We don't even want to look at the time.
54 minutes.
It could have been years. We're like, by the time we get up, you're going to stand up and you've grown like 3 inches.
I'm already having to stretch my legs because they hurt.
We could do some vinyasa yoga after this.
I would like that.
In some.
Did I just put my foot like over the camera, just like?
No, that's fine. That's gonna be a great transition.
Yeah, that's gonna be the intro.
Just like,
that's gonna be the hook.
Yeah. But the hook. Oh no, the hook would. I already know the hook. It should be like, he gave me $30 million, and I said no.
Yeah.
He gave me $30 million, and I said.
Are you able to say who the investor was?
I do not disclose names. Because also,
it was Mr. Wonderful. Screw you, Mr. Wonderful.
No,
the
because also I forgot.
Okay.
Like,
he wasn't that big of a deal. He probably remembers your name.
No, I forget a lot of people's name. Like for the first like month I knew you, I thought you were called like Moif or something.
Moist.
It's like,
hey, Moist.
Well, it was easy.
Get over here.
Well, actually, I think it was. I think it
$30.
I think it was easy because like your name is Mike, but I feel like for the first month I forgot it. I'm like, hey mom, what's his name again?
Moist.
But
Moist.
That's like the worst name. When you meet someone.
Hi, what's your name? My name's Moist.
Moist. You know, you meet people and sometimes you say that word. They just do that.
I think most people do.
Why?
And if you don't, you
moist.
just.
How do you describe a brownie?
It's
delicious.
So wet.
No.
Oh my god.
That's weird.
It's
My
so
body's so
creamy,
wet. Creamy. I think when I think of creamy, I think the word creamy should only be created for like Italian food and ice cream. Like the creamy sauces.
Moist ice cream.
Moist
ice cream.
So there you have it, guys. Welcome to the show.
I think that's like the worst name of like ice cream. Like it's a moist ice cream. Like it's like water, ice, and flavor.
Yeah.
Like,
So we got Hanalei Swan, we got the moist man, we got the medicine man, we got Swan over there, and we got Simone. What do we call you? Maybe that tea woman.
Kratom killer.
Kratom killer. The Kratom killer. So one of the big things, because we're gonna end this pretty soon, and I'm gonna be super sad, but like I said,
and also I feel like we went directly off topic.
We went. That's the best.
She talks to us and we bring it to like the
I feel
sixth
like
grade talking level.
I feel like if you were like, for the people who are watching, I'm sorry, because like whatever caption we put, like whatever caption you put,
it would be like a long one. We'll just transcribe it and put it as a title.
Whatever caption you put, it's not gonna be what we talked about. Like either way.
Oh, it's either meet the 12-year-old that does $100,000 a year, or meet the 12-year-old that turned down $30 million.
I
was already thinking clickbait machine.
But we talked about this like at the last like 5 minutes, and we only talked about it for like 3 minutes.
This is actually screw it. We're not gonna end it right now. Bam, plot twist. I'm about to get situated. I'm gonna lift my leg. You know, this is another like 30-minute position right here.
I'm ready.
This
for
is
another
exactly
hour.
Now that we got the story out of the way and the what's your favorite color out of the way. This is kind of what the idea of this is because business isn't just about, I want to save the world, I want to make money, I want to do things. It's real human beings, right?
Yeah.
Just being transparent. And this is you just being transparent, Merp. Are you tired?
No.
Should we take like a...
No, I'm good.
Do you take nap breaks?
No, I haven't taken a nap.
I don't do that. That's for 8-year-olds.
Since I was 5.
And weak men like you, Moist.
My dad takes more naps than I do.
Well, your dad surfs. I surfed.
I'm a 12-year-old fashion designer.
You're right. I'm just irrelevant and moist. I'm like that brownie that no one wants. The middle brownie that's too moist because you just want the crust.
I don't like the crust of brownies that much.
What? Oh, that's the best part.
I don't know if we can publish this podcast.
I do like the crust, but I mean like not the edges. Like if it's at the edge of the pan, it gets like really burnt or like too crunchy. I like crunchy brownies, but I like the moist brownies more. I think like have a top like with a layer of like crusty and like just bite into it and it's like gooey and it's like.
And then what would you describe it as? Moist?
Moist.
So
Sorry for all the people who are watching.
no, this is great.
Dude,
Like,
I want a brownie now after.
You want a brownie?
Okay, there is a place that's called Made's Banana
Oh, it's my
Brownies.
favorite.
They're so good.
That is
Do you
so
guys want to
good.
grab some brownies after? Because I'm in
only
for
if we
a
like
brownie.
high five and then like stop the frame so that we're like floating, and then epic montage.
Yeah.
Epic montage.
You know,
Credits
Epic
roll.
cut those
What-
eating
it's always like that. We're gonna play the most go-to royalty-free song.
Yeah.
Like a lot of vegan YouTubers use it all the time.
No, you know, no, it's the iMovie songs. The iMovie songs. The iMovie songs. Like, you know those?
Which one's that? Are you gonna sing?
Oh,
That's the worst song ever.
No, just. But the iMovie songs like.
Oh yeah, bless you.
I forgot the rhythm, but Dad, you can pull it up later.
Yeah,
We need to get that monitor and computer.
yeah.
Excuse me.
So let me tell you the vision of what we're like all creating here. It's just gonna be like playful stuff. We're gonna deck this place out.
Ooh.
Oh, you want to deck it out? Wait, you have to talk. Whatever excitement, you have to breathe,
Sorry.
and you have to begin with moist. It's like a radio when you say, "Oh, I'm done." Over. It's like,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm done." Moist.
I'm done moist.
Moist.
I love interior design and I love shows, and I would love to help.
You
like,
need to
in any
meet
way.
his girlfriend.
Wow.
Actually, oh man, I think you and his girlfriend could create so much epic stuff, man. Like for her photography.
And plus, I love like DIYs and I love shopping, and I can get
you have a
bargains.
Pinterest?
I can get.
Can people follow you on Pinterest?
I mean, if you want to
Do
Excuse
help,
me.
Do people plug
Guess
Pinterest?
how many pins I have for art? Just
20.
20,
Yeah.
There's a Mike Vestil Pinterest.
Mike.
We're actually big on that.
Really?
Yeah, 34 to 44-year-old women follow me on that. It's a weird discussion.
But guess how many pins I have? It's just the caption art.
I'm
Nothing
thinking
else.
Googleian and one.
No.
The number that you said, Googleian.
It's a
Googly.
Google.
Google.
I think
Google to the
it's
voice power.
It's a conspiracy, but I think Google named their company after Google. It's because it's like we have a Google amount of searches.
What about gargoyles?
This is how off topic we are.
This is great.
We're only gonna have 5 seconds of usable footage.
No. This is the reason why we need these conversations. Because there's so many people sitting there just like listening to the conversation and they're just trying to get like the information right. But then after they get the information, they get bored. So how can we entertain and educate?
Sorry, I feel
infotainment.
Like I feel like that just needed like the.
Yeah, better than a Googleium of moist brownies.
But can you guess how many pins I have for art?
I'm thinking like 39.
39?
1,000 million.
1,000 million.
I bet you didn't expect that. I wasn't
Oh my
finished.
god. I have 2,709.
2007. You keep track of all your pins?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's for my. It's
Guys, follow her Pinterest, guys.
follow my Pinterest.
Help a sister out. Follow
I
mine
mean-
too.
I mainly just post like on the. I don't even post on there. I just save
Yeah.
like dog photos. Like I have a whole board dedicated to dog photos, and I have a whole board just called LOL. I made it like a year ago, and it has 2,500 pins or something.
Do you have any ideas for the studio?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I'm thinking, what is your main colors, and I can just make a whole.
You can pick any
Yeah,
color you
anything.
want as long as it's white or black. I'm joking.
No, anything.
Like,
Right now it's
you're
a
not giving me very options.
clean
Henry Ford
canvas
says
right
Moist.
now.
You could have any Model T car you want as long as it's black. You know?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. Okay, perfect ideas. So I think what we do is what type is it? Modern?
You're in the room right now. Close your eyes.
I know, but what?
So here's what we're doing. Is we're gonna have this one right here. We're gonna have a backdrop here, and then like another setup here.
Okay, what
So
I'm thinking.
3 or 4.
What I'm
different
thinking, you should
backgrounds.
get these roll up backdrops.
Yeah.
So they roll up and they're in different colors. I think they just look really cool. You could have one turquoise one deep blue one white one, and
I
one
should be a
black
fashion
one.
designer. That's exactly what I said. Like right there,
One black.
and one green screen. So we
Can you
do-
imagine?
Yeah.
You as a
and so-
12-year-old?
I'm on the moon.
Yeah, and then what we should do is right here we should put Mike Vestil's logo.
Yeah.
Do you have a logo?
No, it's just usually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that needs to change.
In a
Just
neon
like-
That
sign.
needs to change.
Just like
You know how they do like
On
the
the
half
wall.
where it's like on the one end it's like the face and the other end it's like a cyborg
or like a dog.
or a dog. I think the logo should be on one end. It's
We
like
have
a
your
six-
body with a dog head. Chin
Well,
to
that
shoulder.
and then the stomach should be like one is a six pack and then the other one is just like a moist big belly or a brownie.
I feel like it would be very on brand right now for like a brownie. Like a
Actually,
moist
this
brownie.
brand is going through a confusing time. It's like this brand is very typical to like maybe a 14-year-old that still doesn't know if girls have cooties or if maybe he can start liking girls. You know,
God.
so it's like very.
But I think have you seen those vintage sign logos?
No.
We need a monitor. And
I
a
think
visual thing.
so. It's like
we need a monitor.
it's like a circle, and it's like all in LED, bright LEDs
Yeah.
wiring. I know how to DIY that, and then just be able to like go like, oh, Mike Vestil, like all that type of stuff.
Like Mike Vestil, your
Mike
girl.
Vestil,
Like Mr.
And-
Vestil, your girl.
And then we can throw on some sparks at
No,
the end.
wait, but listen.
Sit
So-
your ass down.
So the LED wiring, there's actually a place right up the street that has something similar that I really like.
Don't
that,
say the name of this street.
I know, I forgot the name.
I'm gonna have to move.
No, I don't even know the name. It's like
That's good.
Columbia.
Oh yeah, Columbia.
Oh, I love
Right
that.
next to
I told
Dibba
you-
favorite
I told
state.
you not.
Columba-deba-day.
I told you not to say the street name.
Columba-day-day.
But you have a LED sign right there that's glowing in like navy blue or something, and then you
Turquoise.
like. Okay. And then like here we can do like a cool geometric mural that I know how to do. I have a really cool artist friend who makes like dog portraits that are like
Just dogs playing poker in Bali.
I kind of wanted your dad's face with his beard, just like that, like a line coming out of his beard.
there's gonna be so much unusable audio right now.
No, this is all
This is
used.
all
I think we
going
throw
on.
away the half and then we start with this.
The first half.
Yeah,
To
all
where
of
you,
it.
when your legs come up.
Yeah,
Alright,
the moment
start
that
of-
was
start
the
of the podcast.
That was a transition.
I feel like my
Bam.
dad's getting very upset right now because he hasn't had his podcast time
Yeah.
and we have to leave.
So with that being said, where can they find you?
You can find me at Hanalei Swan, HANALEISWAN, and on Instagram and Facebook it's Hanalei Swan Studios.
And your website
My website.
for where they could get these merch.
We are going to be shipping very soon. HanaleisSwan.com.
That's it.
HanaleisSwan.com.
Got it. All right,
So
we'll
very
interview
good.
your dad now, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We go like this.
Oh, yeah, that's how it ends, and then just like epic outro.
Lasers.